Good morning, everyone. I'm Tammy Oommen, and I'm Head of Strategic Initiatives here at ArcelorMittal Dofasco. On behalf of ArcelorMittal Dofasco and Ron Bedard, our President and CEO, I'd like to welcome you here today for the Made in Canada Ferries and Rail Summit. We are honored to have this gathering. We're honored to have this gathering of government partners, industry leaders and policymakers who are committed to strengthening Canada's transportation infrastructure here at ArcelorMittal Dofasco today. I'd like to extend a special thank you to Honourable Minister Chrystia Freeland. Since the early days of the 232 tariffs to today, your unwavering support for the Canadian steel industry has made a significant impact, and I felt it important to acknowledge you and your efforts today. I would like to also acknowledge our local MPs who are here today, Lisa Hepner, John Paul Danko, Aslam Rana, and Mayor Andrea Horwath, for the work that you continue to do to protect Canadian manufacturing. Thank you. Now, I'd like to give a quick health and safety moment. Where are the slides? I will just go like this. Okay. So we are committed here at ArcelorMittal Dofasco to the health and safety of all those who come onto site. So in case of emergency today, we're going to exit through the doors here, out to the east parking lot, to an assembly area at the back of the parking lot. We do have ArcelorMittal team members here. Should we need to, we will guide you to that assembly area. Now, before we start the formal agenda for today, I'd like to provide you a bit of background about ArcelorMittal Dofasco. So first, we lost the slides here. Sorry. So ArcelorMittal, we're part of the world's leading integrated steel and mining company, ArcelorMittal, who has manufacturing facilities in 15 countries, over 125,000 employees working to supply customers in over 125 countries. In 2024, we totaled over 54 million shipments of steel, 54 million tons of steel. And to ensure we continue to support our customers with their developing needs, we have 14 research centers with 1,650 full-time researchers. Next slide, please. Thank you. In Canada, ArcelorMittal has more than 10,000 employees and supports another 40,000 indirect jobs. We have operations in flat-rolled, tubular, automotive tailored blanks, and long product steel. And we also have extensive iron ore mines in Quebec. Dofasco was founded in 1912 as Dominion Steel Castings Company. And over the past 113 years, people have been and continue to be a key differentiator in our success. Our product is steel, and people are truly our strength. Health and safety is a core value for us here at ArcelorMittal Dofasco. This encompasses two things, both physical safety, as I mentioned, for everybody who comes onto our site and works on our site, as well as mental and physical wellness. Our senior leaders do over 15,000 shop floor layered safety talks a year, with the focus on talking to our employees on how we can improve safety and then actioning from those discussions. In Hamilton, we're the region's largest private employer of nearly 4,500 employees, with an additional 20,000 indirect jobs that we support. We make 130 grades and produce 4.5 million tons of steel annually. We have 3 to 4 billion in procurement annually, with more than 3,000 suppliers, where the majority are located here in Hamilton. Since 2015, we've invested more than 5 billion into our facilities. That includes a new heavy gauge galvanizing line, additional capabilities with aluminum silicon product at our automotive number 5 galvanizing line, as well as modernization of our hot mill, which continues to make it best in class. In 2023, we launched our X-Carb recycled and renewably produced product. This is a product made with a minimum 70% scrap and 100% renewable energy. and it helps provide our customers with lower scope 3 carbon, than when you compare to global and North American averages. I'm going to let people come through. Hi, I'm Tammy Oommen.
Bring back the slides, please. Bring back the slides. There we go.
You can go to the next one. Yeah. Okay. So we've been making electric arc furnace steel here for almost 30 years, since we started up the facility in 1996. And today, 45% of our overall shipments are actually produced with EAF steel. Okay, next slide. And lastly, I just wanted to mention that our teams continue to design and develop steels for our customers in the automotive, construction, food packaging, culvert, energy, and agricultural markets. So again, it's our pleasure to have you here today, and we wish you all the success. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Tammy. Okay, so now we have everyone in the room. I would like to start off with a short video message from the Right Honourable Mark Carney, Prime Minister of Canada, le Très Honorable Mark Carney, le Premier Ministre du Canada, qui aura quelques commentaires pour ouvrir la session. Sorry, there's told there's a technical glitch. So now we'll move on. So, Minister Freeland, I'd like to introduce, everyone knows, Minister Freeland, the Honourable Chrystia Freeland, Minister of Transport and Internal Trade. First elected as MP in 2013, has served as Canada's 10th Deputy Prime Minister, Minister of Finance, and also played, in the context of what we're talking here, a key role in the renegotiation of NAFTA back when as Minister of Foreign Affairs. So, Minister, I'm going to hand it over to you for opening remarks.
Okay. Well, good morning, everyone. Bienvenue et bon matin. Ça me fait un tellement grand plaisir d'être ici avec vous aujourd'hui. This is a really important and special day for me and for all of the colleagues who are here. I'm sorry that we didn't get to see the video of the Prime Minister because he's very excited about us doing this too. You know, as Pablo has just said, steel and aluminum are foundational to Canada, and steel and aluminum and the people who produce steel and aluminum in Canada are actually personally very special to me. My bonding moment was during the first NAFTA negotiations or renegotiation, and then when we faced the 232 tariffs. And that was a very testing time. Things are really testing now again. And, you know, we were talking with our MPs, who I'm going to introduce in a minute, beforehand, but my friend and colleague Lisa Hepner said in our pre-chat that steel is foundational to Canada, and steel is about jobs and the people who make the steel. It's also about our national economic security and our national security. Producing these foundational industrial products, steel and aluminum, is essential to Canada. And look, we're here at Dofasco, which is the largest flat steel producer. So you guys don't need me to tell you how challenging things are right now. But I want you to know that I recognize, your amazing MPs recognize, your amazing mayor recognizes how great the challenge is. And we are here today because I'm the transport minister. We have another transport minister here too. And we know that our transport industries, rail, maritime transport, use a lot of steel and aluminum. As a country, we need to very, very quickly get really, really good at using the steel and aluminum that we're so good at producing across our entire economy today, with a focus on rail and maritime transport. So that's what we're here to talk about. I want to offer a special recognition and shout out to the union leaders who are here today. This is about bringing together all levels of government, business, and critically, labor. At the end of the day, Canada and our steel and aluminum industries are strong because of the people who work here. And so I really do want to take a minute to recognize all of the great workers, their union representatives, and I want you to know that you are at the heart of our economy and of our concern about supporting the steel and aluminum sector. Je veux souligner l'importance de l'industrie de l'acier et de l'industrie de l'aluminium. C'est crucial pour l'économie canadienne, c'est crucial pour les secteurs du transport, et les travailleurs dans les industries d'acier et d'aluminium sont tellement importants pour notre pays et pour notre gouvernement. Et je veux vraiment remercier les travailleurs et travailleuses des secteurs d'aluminium, de l'acier, leurs représentants dans syndicaux, et de vraiment souligner à quel point ils sont nécessaires pour le Canada, à quel point on est là ici pour les appuyer, et à quel point on est absolument convaincu que l'économie canadienne doit trouver les moyens d'utiliser notre aluminium, notre acier, ici, chez nous. Nous comprenons l'importance de faire cela et on va faire cela. I'm really thrilled by how many people are here today. When we started organizing this meeting in the middle of the summer, Arun Thangaraj, who is the Deputy Minister of Transport, I think was a little bit skeptical. Arun, is that fair? That this was going to be something that we could pull together so quickly. And I was of the view that we needed to try, because the need is urgent. We're here at Dofasco, we're here at an essential Canadian steel producer. You guys understand how tremendous the pressure is. And we recognized that we need to act with the kind of fierce urgency that you are feeling. What makes me really happy is the way that Canadians, that people here have felt that same urgency, and the way that we have had people from across the country, users of steel and aluminum in rail transport, in marine transport, who have recognized that now is a moment that we have to change how we do things and reorient our own economy to be using our own steel and aluminum. And really, it's that conversation. That is what we are here to do and here to talk about. I had a conversation yesterday about this meeting with the Prime Minister, and we reminded each other that one of the things that he said during the election campaign that people responded to with the greatest excitement and energy was when he said, we as Canadians can give ourselves more than any country can take away from us. We need to rely on ourselves. We need to build Canada. That is what we are here to do. I'm now just quickly want to recognize some great colleagues who are here with me, and I'd like you to stand up, who are here with me to support this effort. I've already mentioned my friend Lisa Hefner, John Paul Danko, Aslam Rana, and Seema Akan. These are our Hamilton and Oakville MPs. I want you guys to know they talk to me every single day about what you need. And they are here to be part of this work and this conversation. I am also joined by a guy who spends every single day working hard for Canadian workers, and that is my colleague and friend, John Zerucelli. Yeah. We have other orders of government here too, and I'm going to give them a shout out in a minute, but before I do that, I'm going to ask John if he wants to say a few words.
Thank you, Minister Freeland. Thank you for bringing us all together for this important conversation today. I want to underline that Prime Minister's statement that you raised, that we can do more for ourselves than any foreign government can take away. I think that's why today is really important, because we're talking about very strategic industries that we need to grow and protect, and I know we're all here to do that. So I'm really happy this is happening today. I think it's really critical. You know, unions, industry, and government are coming together here to help deal with this very strategic problem. So I look forward to the conversation today. My one message to my colleagues from the union sector who have somehow strategically put themselves at the back of the room, make your voices heard today. Please, we need you. Your workers need you. And I just want to thank everybody for coming here today. Thank you to colleagues from the other provinces, to those online, and thank you, Minister Freeland, for this leadership.
Yeah, and I really want to echo what John has said about how important the union voice in these conversations is, because at the end of the day, this is about Canadian jobs and Canadian workers, and that's who you represent. We are doing this as we learned how to do during COVID in a hybrid format. So we do have, the room is full and we have a lot of people joining us virtually. And I do want to give a shout out to our parliamentary colleague, member of the Transport Committee, Chi Nguyen, who is here. So thank you very much. Thanks for your hard work. And I want to turn it over to my colleague, our Ontario Minister, Prabmeet Sarkaria. Please.
Well, thank you very much, Minister Freeland. A pleasure to be here for this summit today with many distinguished individuals, and I thank you for your leadership and bringing this together and bringing a very distinguished room and many of those online as well to participate in this very, very important conversation. I want to take an opportunity by first introducing one of my colleagues, a local MPP for Hamilton. Monica, if you'd like to stand up and give everybody a wave. She's been a very strong advocate at the provincial level, very strong advocate of Hamilton and the sectors that supported steel, aluminum, and many others. And we've worked very, very closely together in the past couple of months to move forward on some great projects and initiatives. And I also want to give a big shout out to Deputy Minister Doug Jones, who's also here for leading for the Minister of Transportation at Department of Transportation here provincially. And I think Michael Lindsay will also be joining us shortly. I don't see him in the room, but I think he will be here. But, you know, our commitment in this conversation is real. We want to be a strong partner as we move forward. You know, we were elected on a promise to protect Ontario from tariffs, but we also see this as an opportunity here domestically to support our industries in general. You know, Mayor Horwath, I can't begin to, you know, appreciate and understand the challenges your city is under. You know, Mayor Horwath cares deeply about the community and her city and the challenges. We've had many discussions on, for example, transit projects, but I know with the Premier as well. You know, we're all in this together. The message from the Premier from the day one has always been that we're in this together. How do we become more resilient? How do we build an economy that protects not only the workers, but also ensures generational opportunities for Canadian businesses and Canadian workers? One of the things that, you know, our government was able to help support was very recently, and I think we need to do more of, is our TTC Line 2 trains being built up in Thunder Bay. And I know some of the team from Alstom is here today, but where we have Canadian options and we can support Canadian workers, even if it does cost us a little bit more, I think we need to do everything we can to support those workers, to support and ensure that those jobs remain in Canada, in Ontario, in that matter. So I think this conversation that we're going to have today will build upon that. You know, we've invested $70 billion over the next 10 years into rail infrastructure across Metrolinks. So whether that's LRTs in Hamilton, whether that's going to be LRTs and subways in Toronto, this is going to be a strong driver of the economy, and we need to continue to build that transportation infrastructure. But also very recently, we also put forward our $215 million shipbuilding program, which I know is really, really important to places like Hamilton and also in Ontario. And I want to thank my colleagues, you know, Monica, for also championing that project here, given the opportunities that exist not only in Hamilton but across Ontario. So we look, you know, forward to working with Minister Freeland and her team. I think you'll be hearing from the Premier very, very shortly. And we hope to continue to build upon this momentum as we continue to protect Ontario and move forward. So, Minister Freeland, thank you for your leadership, for bringing this together, having us here, being a part of the conversation. We look forward to working with you.
Okay, yeah. Thank you very much. And I think we're all very happy about those TTC cars. And you know, that's an example of us working together also with the City of Toronto to build and make things here in Canada. And our next step is to use Canadian steel and aluminum in the things that we manufacture here. I do want to recognize our colleague Stéphane Lauzon, qui est ici avec nous en virtuel. Et Stéphane, depuis longtemps, est le président du caucus du député du Québec. On est à Hamilton aujourd'hui, mais on parle aussi de l'aluminium canadien. Alors, je suis tellement content, Stéphane, que vous êtes avec nous. Bonjour, Stéphane. I think we have our Premier who's going to be joining us virtually. So let's give him a chance. And then we do have, you know, really strong municipal representation and provinces from across the country. We'll give them a chance to speak to, but I think Premier Ford was going to join us at 9:30, and he's a busy guy, so. Okay, so Pablo, interrupt me when he's ready, because I think I know, Prabmeet and I both know what a big believer he is in this effort to make clear to everyone that Canada is not for sale and that we are going to buy Canadian and build Canadian. And I'm really glad that he's going to have a chance to be part of our conversation. I am really glad that Minister Elvis Loveless is with us. Thank you for coming. And we would love to hear from you. It is great to have Atlantic Canada, Newfoundland and Labrador here.
Absolutely. Thank you, Minister, and certainly a pleasure to be here. I'm here with my Deputy Minister, Sean Dutton, who's we all as ministers know how important our deputies are, and staff for sure. And in terms of this meeting, Minister Freeland, we were skeptical as well. So, but we're here, and it's a pleasure to be here. And so we'll wait for Premier Ford. So I'll have to be pretty good to outdo him for sure. But the room is filled here today, and it shows the importance of it. And Minister Freeland, you talked about the urgency and the essential time, of this, and it is essential and it is urgent as we are in testing times, as you alluded to, and we know there are union leaders and business leaders, the mayor's pleasure to be here with you. You talked about great workers and the heart of the economy, and I saw on one of the slides earlier it said people are a differentiator. So that is the differentiator, our people. So I thought that was very important to state that this morning. I'm not going to say much more, but the give more than can be taken away are very, very powerful words, and that's doable if we're partners. And I'm here as Newfoundland and Labrador's rep, and proud to be a partner in Canada, best country in the world. And at that, I'll end it and open it up for others to have a few words. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very, very much for being here. We know how important marine transport is for Newfoundland and Labrador, and it's really, really great to have you here. Okay, and then we have some other provinces participating virtually. So I'm going to maybe go to west of Ontario. Do we have Minister Moses from Manitoba? Is he here with us on the screen? Give him a chance. Yeah, there we go.
Good morning. Good morning. Can you hear me?
Good morning. We sure can.
Okay, I'm so pleased to be joining you today from Manitoba. Being in the geographical center of the country, it's really important for us to continue to work towards bringing the country together. Logistically, we know how essential it is for transportation and trucks to make it from coast to coast to coast. And for us, being in Manitoba here, we know we play a vital role in that. So we're very proud to be engaging this conversation in understanding our logistical importance to growing Canada's economy. Furthermore, we're very proud to have a very good involvement with the steel industry as well here. We know that's going to be a large conversation for today. With Gerdau steel being produced in Selkirk, Manitoba, it's recycled steel powered by clean hydroelectricity, some of the cleanest steel you'll find anywhere in the world. And so not only support that particular business and their enterprise, but all of the secondary manufacturing that spills off from that is very important to Manitoba's economy. So I just want to leave the words there that Manitoba continues to not only find its way to have a strong role in growing our national economy, but also to understand that our industries have a significant role and can continue to bolster and support them, means bolstering and supporting our entire national economy. So thanks very much. Looking forward to the conversation today and looking forward to strengthening the relationship between Manitoba and the rest of our great nation. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Jamie. And I think we have the Premier of our province that we're in right now ready to address us.
Well, Minister Freeland, thanks so much for having us on. And Jamie, thank you for your talk there too. Jamie's a champion, by the way. Met him before. He's a great leader. And I just want to acknowledge our ministers as well. We have Minister Pacini, Minister of Labor, Minister Prabmeet Sarkaria, Minister of Transportation, and they're doing an incredible job. You know, it starts off with, I'll say, Minister Pacini and the Minister of Labor investing over $2.5 billion in skills development fund, making sure that we have our future students get ready for jobs of the future. And along with Prabmeet Sarkaria, Minister of Transportation, is focused on the infrastructure. We have over $200 billion of infrastructure we're doing here in Ontario, the largest transportation system in North America, building subways and building roads and highways and bridges. You know, folks, we're in a battle like we've never seen against President Trump. You know, President Trump, in my opinion, wants to destroy our country, get every manufacturer they possibly can down to the U.S. And I'm hearing it, I'm feeling it right now, but we need to stand up. We have two choices: either roll over and get run over by this guy, and you know, that would be it, or we stand up and fight like we've never fought before. I take the latter approach. And I think the government plays a massive role. I always say government doesn't create jobs, but they create the environment and conditions for companies to come here and invest and thrive and prosper and grow. And that's what we're doing here in Ontario. We reduce the cost of doing business for companies to come here by $11 billion each and every single year. We've never, ever raised a tax. Tax is the worst thing you could ever do to people, the worst thing you could ever do to businesses. You grow your revenues. You don't tax the pants off companies. You do a tax reduction to corporations. What they do, they invest it into their people, into technology, into their infrastructure, be it buildings, buying new equipment, and they'll continue to grow. When I was talking to my minister, Vic Fideli, over the weekend, he said our pipeline is full of large companies coming to invest billions of dollars. The foreign direct investment last year alone in Ontario, there was over 400, and this is just foreign. This is not everyone that's expanding within Ontario. There was over 409 companies that invested worldwide in Ontario, creating roughly an investment of $39.875 billion. So let's say it was $40 billion, creating 25,000 jobs. This is how we create the environment. We have to send a message, Minister, and right across the country, that we aren't going to be taxing people. We're going to reduce taxes, put money back into people's pockets. And when you do that, they'll go out and spend it and stimulate. The worst place you could ever give your money, in my opinion, is the government. All three levels: municipal, provincial, and federal. Because I feel businesses and people know how to spend their money a lot wiser than government. That's what stimulates the economy. We have to give people hope right now. Minister, I'm telling you, there's no one in the country that takes more calls than I do. I take hundreds and hundreds of calls from strangers, business people around the country, and people are getting anxious right now. We have to get out there and start announcing big infrastructure projects. No matter if it's a rail, and by the way, the steel rail should be actually produced, preferably here in Ontario or somewhere, but we don't even produce our own steel rails here in Ontario or Canada. That's what we need to start focusing on. On the steel sector, it's very simple, in my opinion. You know, when you have steel manufacturing countries that their domestic use, for example, the US, they use 70 to 80% of their steel. And EU, European Union, they use 65 to 75%. Well, guess what Canada uses? Canada uses 35% of their domestic steel, which is absolutely ridiculous. And I'll tell you one of the reasons why they're doing it. It's a quota system. At one time, it was 60% quota. Anything over and on top of that, they'd get tariffed. And then, thank you, Prime Minister, dropping it to 50%, but it's still not good enough. We need to drop those quotas down to 25%. It's absolutely critical so we can start using domestic steel. I'm tired about hearing, there's a big shipbuilder in the East Coast using European steel, using German steel. Why? That's what I ask. Why? We're handing money over to another country when we can manufacture it here. We have the city of Toronto buying ferries from Romania. Like, because it's an electric ferry, I'm sure we can come up with an electric ferry as well, or out in BC that they're buying ferries as well. Maybe I'm wrong, but I didn't think they were building them in BC as well. So these are the things we need to start focusing on. We need to start supporting Canadian manufacturing. We can get it done. I encourage the federal government, as we did. We spend on procurement roughly about $30 billion a year, and then over and on top of that, the $200 billion on infrastructure, directing any single company that wants to do business with the federal, provincial, or even municipal governments, that they have to use Canadian products no matter what. Because they always come up with an excuse when it goes out to companies, be it PCL or Elliston, the two big ones. Well, we went down to the US or Mexico to buy windows, and I'm tired of it. We need to pull together. We have to make sure we open up trade. We've signed 10 deals with territories and provinces around the country to make it actually free trade and fair trade across our country. That will stimulate our country. I'm hearing numbers anywhere from 4 to 6% on our GDP, hundreds of billions of dollars within our country. That's what we need to do to stimulate the economy. But I'm telling you, Minister, I'm hearing it loud and clear on the street per se, if you want to call it the street, from businesses. And when you go to little mom and pop shops and you go into a Tim Hortons, we got to give people hope. And we need to do it quickly. I always say faster, quicker, immediate. And I know one of the big challenges that we face is the government. The biggest problem with government is government. The bureaucracy and red tape and regulations. I spoke to a big food company. The biggest problem with them compared to their U.S. division is the regulatory burden that government puts on these companies. We need to cut red tape, cut regulations, stimulate the economy. And that's what we're going to do here in Ontario. And we look forward to partnering with everyone across the country. But again, Minister, we all have to stop talking and we have to start seeing action and start moving and making announcements literally on a weekly basis right across this country. And I appreciate everyone's time, but we need to start moving and start announcing projects. So I appreciate everyone's time here. Can I leave you with one more thing, Minister? Little things make a difference on the aluminum sector. So no one realizes our aluminum cans are all produced down in the US. The aluminum gets shipped from Quebec down to the US. And I'm thinking, we use billions of cans, no matter if it's beverage cans or beer cans, other types of cans. We're now onshoring the equipment to manufacture cans right here in Ontario. Same with the tin cans. We got together all the users of tin cans because the tin comes from Dofasco, gets shipped to them down to the US, gets converted and shipped up. So we're going to be manufacturing tin cans. I encourage every single province and territory to do the exact same thing. Start onshoring everything we can. Unleash our critical minerals. Unleash our oil. We'd be the wealthiest country in the world. And it can't be taking 15 years to get a damn shovel in the ground to get critical minerals out when everyone else is doing it for 2 years. So sorry for my last little rant, but I could go on for another hour. But, we need to fix the problem ourselves and create that environment. So thank you, everyone. I appreciate your time. I have confidence in everyone on the line here. But the biggest problem with government, we talk too much. Let's start moving. It's true. You know it too. Everyone at the table knows it. So thank you, everyone.